My dear students, today we will discuss here in this class the topic Hume's view of causation. Now we have discussed Aristotle's view of causation in the previous class, and today we will discuss about Hume's view of causation. I would like to divide this topic into two portions. The first portion is common sense view of causality and David Hume. And the second portion is the main idea of Hume's causality. Like this, I would like to divide into two portions. The division is, I intentionally make this division so that we can grasp the philosophical thoughts very easily without having any hindrances, without having any handicap of boringness in our mind. I think, our learned scholars and teachers of philosophy may think that the division of this theory may spoil the beauty and the true nature of the Hume's theory of causation. But this is a thing. What I do is I make an effort to remove the dullness of the student in their mind. Now, I would like to proceed my class starting from the first portion. The first portion is common sense view of causality and David Hume. David Hume, you must have heard. David Hume was a Scottish philosopher. He was born in Edinburgh, Scotland, and he was an empiricist. I think we have learned some theories of the empiricism. You must have heard about John Locke. John Locke was also an empiricist. Now we will study the theory of David Hume, the Hume's view of causation. Before we go into the deepness of the philosophy of Hume's view of causation, let us discuss what we common people think about the causality. Common people regard cause as a power or force or energy which actively produces the effect. This is the belief of the common people, and we have in our common sense view that cause actively produce the effect. The causal relation is a necessary relation. There is an inseparable relation between cause and effect. This is what the common people believed. Now when we come to the empiricism, what we find is that all our knowledge is derived from experience. Sense experience is the source of our knowledge. Experience is twofold. One is sensation and another one is reflection. you have already known that sensation is external perception and reflection is the internal perception. Now what we may know here according to the empiricism is that what is not given in our sensation or what is not given in our reflection is no existence. We can think that the object exists if we do not experience it. If it has an existence, we must have the perception of the object. This is the concept of the empiricist. Now, David Hume is also an empiricist. Now, according to David Hume, what we find is that there is no any indispensable relationship between cause and effect. There is no any necessary connection between cause and effect. He criticizes the popular notion of cause. And what is the popular notion of the cause? If there is a cause, there must be an effect. If there is an effect, there must be a cause. This is a very popular notion of common people, what we have in our common sense. And there is an inseparable relationship between cause and effect, and cause is the antecedent and effect is the consequent event. This theory is criticized by John Locke. John Locke denied the conception of cause as power or energy or force or something like that. John Locke criticized, David Hume criticizes it. As we know that according to the empiricists, all our knowledge is derived from experience. In the same case, David Hume also says that our knowledge is derived from sense experience. We collect our ideas and our knowledge from the sense experience. But we cannot apprehend. We never apprehend anything, what we call force or power or energy in our sense experience. We can establish anything like power, energy or force, which is going to actively produce the effect. So this is the criticism of John Locke. This is the main point what we find from the topic of John Locke. David Hume. And we common people believe that there is a necessary connection between cause and effect. But in the contradictory, according to David Hume, what we find is that there is no necessary connection between cause and effect. Experience gives us only a succession of two discrete separate events. Cause and effects are two separate events according to him. There is no any relationship between these two events. Cause is another event and the effect is another event. There is no any necessary relation between these two. They are two discrete separate events but took place in succession. that but take place in succession. In our experience, if one event is uniformly followed by the another, the ideas of the two events become associated in our mind according to the laws of the association. According to the laws of the association, the two objects or the two events are associated in the mind because of the uniformly occurrences of the two events. Later, when we think of the first event, we expect the second one. Say, for example, if there is fire, there is smoke. Like this, when we see the fire, we expect that there will be smoke. Therefore, causality is nothing more than the uniformity of the succession. This is the concept of David Hume. Causality is nothing, but it is the uniformity of the succession. Coming to events successively, in succession. Cause is nothing, but it is the invariable antecedent of an event. Cause is an invariable antecedent of an event, and on the other, effect is the invariable consequent of an event. But there is no any relationship, necessary relationship, a necessary connection between these two events, what I call cause and effect. Causality is not efficiency. It means that cause does not necessarily produce effect. Now, let us see the summary of the topic, what we discussed, the theory of causation, David Hume's view of causation. Let me tell you the summary of today's class. Before I give you the summary, now let us see the picture of David Hume. This picture is David Hume, and the topic what we discuss is known as David Hume's view of causation. David Hume was born on May 7, 1711 in Edinburgh, Scotland, and died on August 25, 1776 in Edinburgh. He was a Scottish philosopher, historian, economist, and an essayist. He is known especially for philosophical empiricism and skepticism. Now let us see the summary now. As we have learned, common people regard cause as a power or force or energy which actively produces the effect. The causal relation is a necessary relation. Sensation is external perception, where reflection is internal perception. What is not given in the senses or reflection has no existence. This is the first main point what we grasped, what we understand from the common sense view of causality. Hume criticizes the popular notion of cause. He denied the conception of cause as power or activity or force. And he says that there is no necessary connection between a cause and an effect. Experience gives us only succession of two discrete separate events. Causality is nothing more than uniformity of succession. And now one more most important point, think what we may remember here is cause is nothing but the invariable antecedent of an event. We have to remember this point, this line. Causality is not efficiency. It means that cause does not necessarily produce effect. These are the points what we can get from the discussion what we have in our class today. Now let us see some question pattern. In connection with this topic, we may see the following question patterns like this. Describe the critical study of Hume's view of causation for 8 marks. How does Hume view the idea of causality for 4 marks? What is common sense view of causality? 4 marks. What is causality according to Hume? 4 marks. And how does Hume define causality? 2 marks. And how does Hume give the difference between cause and effect? 2 marks. And why does Hume say that causality is subjective idea? These are some of the questions we will discuss later on in the next class, but some part of the questions we discuss today in the classroom. So let us finish here for today.